Good morning and welcome to PLC this week. We are going to look at a new reading program called Myon. Myon is an online program, a digital library actually, that has 6,000 ebooks. It also offers a screener test for interest in students as well as a Lexile leveling test. And so we're going to take a look at that. And to access this program, you can either go to the Student Symbaloo or Teacher Symbaloo. I'm just going to click on that one. It's called Myon. This is the tile you'll click on. Brings up your login page, and hopefully Legacy Elementary is already there. If it's not, be sure and type in Legacy. It'll bring down a drop-down menu, and be sure and pick, of course, the correct one, because there's several across the nation. And for teachers, the username is your friendship email. Helps to type it correctly. And then the password for everyone is friendship with a capital F. Now for student logins, it's the regular district login. Their initials, username is initials followed by student ID number. Password is their student ID number. So it should be easy for them to log in because they're used to that number. Now, as of this week, we do not have the rosters correct. All the students are in there, or should be, but your rosters may not look correct. So if you get in and you look at that, don't worry, that's being corrected at Casey. All right, so as a teacher, you could go to library and search for a book or a topic. So I'm going to search for polar. And just see if it brings up, yeah, and it did. It brought up a lot of polar bear things. So let's just look at what you can see and get information about in these books. So I'm going to click on this I, and it brings up an overview of the book, Lexile level, recommended grade level, how long the book is actually read to them, the audio time it takes to read the book, and how many pages it is, and of course it's in English. If I want to actually open this book and read it, I click on the green. And you're not going to be able to hear the audio because of this screencast that I'm doing for you, but the audio is there. So I'm going to start the book, and oh, maybe you can hear it. Yay! I'm not sure if you can or not, but I'm going to keep talking. So it reads the books to them. It also highlights the words as they're being read. So you kind of get the idea there. I'm going to stop this from going. Okay, and so let's say I did not know, let's see what drift means. So if I click on drift, it brings up a dictionary on the side with a definition. Okay, and so if your students are listening and reading along, then they don't know a word, then they can do that to find the meaning of the word. They can also annotate on top of the book. So if you ask them to highlight a certain words or certain maybe vocabulary words, they just find the highlighter pen and click on the word and it highlights it for them. Of course, they have color choices. They can also do things on with the brush here. If you wanted them to circle, I don't know, circle sight words or, whatever you wanted them to annotate on there, they can do that as well. They can also add sticky notes. And if they want to say polar bears, dig in the snow to build a tunnel as being the main idea of this page, or whatever you're wanting them to add. They can add notes to the text there, and you could go back and look at that, or they could go back and look at that. So at the end of the book, it will ask them to take a quiz. Now, I've signed in as a teacher, so it's not going to ask me that, but I just wanted you to get an idea of some of the tools and things you can see as they are accessing the books and reading the books. Okay, so to get rid of the dictionary, I'm going to click on this. And if I didn't want this anymore, I'm just going to put that in the trash, and the book would continue. So I'm not going to go through the whole book, but that gives you an idea of some of the tools available. Let's go back, and I'm going to show you, let's go back to home. Okay, so that was library. Now, if you go to classroom and students, you can see these are the only students in my classroom, which these are all fake students that I created for you to use so that you can practice and see what any student will see when they log in. So like for fourth grade teachers, you're going to use Tony Tiger fourth grade. And let me go ahead and give you the student login for that. It's what you would use to model this for your students as you're presenting this new program to them. And I'm looking for my paper that shows that. And I tell you what, I don't have that in front of me on this recording, so I'm going to give you that in paper form. But it is a fake student created, so you can pull it up and model it and show the students what it actually looks like. Let's talk about that. When they first log in as the student, they will be given a screening test to test their interest. And it will have different genres and different categories like science, math, animals, sports, and they get to rate how much they like or dislike those interest levels. And so I just wanted you to make sure you were aware that that's the first thing they're going to be asked to do. The second thing is a Lexile leveler, and that will ask them questions, starts out pretty easy, works its way up to more difficult questions, and when they complete that, it will give them a Lexile level. It'll combine that with their interest screener and produce a library for them so that they can immediately access the recommended books for their interest level and their Lexile level, which is really cool because it hopefully is putting them right exactly where they need to be with the access to the books that are perfect, a good fit for them. As they finish a book, a quiz will come up, similar to an AR quiz. They will take that quiz, it will score it, they will go back to their created library and click on another book and just keep reading through the books that have been recommended for them. Now, unfortunately, they can stray off and do a search for any book of the 1,000 in the whole program. So you're going to probably want to monitor their work on these books because, if they go off and pull up an 8th grade book, it may, 1, be inappropriate, and 2, be way above their level. So, you might give them a free time to do that just for fun, but for the most part, they need to be working on the recommended books that are created in their library for them. Another important point to look at is every 4 weeks or every 5 hours of logins that they do, or recorded, documented reading time that they do, a new assessment will pop up that they have to take before they can move on. And it's not the interest screener, but it is the Lexile leveler, just to measure their progress and to see if they need to move up to a higher level. So that's built into the program. They'll take that every 4 weeks or after every 5 hours of reading. This is accessible on iPads, so if you choose to have them get on that way, that's great. There is already a shortcut on the iPad, so they just click on MyOn. It goes right to the login page. They log in and it brings up their specific library. Of course, that's after you've done the interest screener and the Lexile leveler. It is available for home access. So we are planning to have a bring your own device day at school. And I'll let you know the date of that when we get that set. But they can bring their own device to school and we will help them get the app downloaded and set up, and they will have access to downloading 20 books at a time. So let's say a family does have a device, but they do not have Wi-Fi access at home. They can bring the device to school. We will download the app and get their 20 books downloaded for them. Then when they go home, they're already on there and they can access them in their car or wherever they are without requiring Wi-Fi. So we're hoping to push this as a great summer reading program because a lot of parents don't take their kids to the public library, and we want them to have as much access to books as possible. Hopefully you watched the video that I also included in my email that explained more about Mion, so that you saw that this is hopefully going to level the playing field for those that don't have access to books at home. This is a grant. It's going through July the 1st, I believe, or June the 1st. It depends on who you ask. But we just found this out last week, so it's new to us. But they're monitoring how much we're using it and wanting feedback on how successful we think this program is, so that they can either pursue more funding and get this grant continued for next school year, or even if it's a high interest and something we really want, the district may choose to pay for it. I really think this is a great program. I think it's going to be almost a replacement for AR, possibly, but also they're adding 100 books every month, excuse me. So it's going to continue to grow and grow, and I'm excited about that. So if you have questions about any of this, please come see me, and thank you for your time today.